Hi, good afternoon. I'd like to welcome you to Poem Praise 2 and peace and blessings be upon you and your family this afternoon. Now, we are going to go ahead and get into Con After Dark, the ultimate question and answer 1, Part 1 and 2, here on Poem Praise 2 for you. Why is the Honorable Louis Farrakhan so important? This is take number 4. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this take that I have for you. HTLC. No, that's cool. YKTD. I was talking about the Wiz and how everybody just had to follow the yellow brick road. Just stay on that narrow road, the straight and narrow. And like you told me a little earlier, you've always been looked at a little differently because you were in search of your identity. HTOC. YKTD. A message. A light clicked on in your head and said, wait, something ain't right about what's going on here. HTOC. See, that brings me back to when I said that I don't know much about it. So, what is a Muslim? I understand as far as we're the original Israelites. I know the Jewish people are a copy, and they're trying to take over what that is because they know we are the original Jews. I understand that much. I know who Farrakhan is, and I know what he looks like, but I don't know anything about him. YKTD. Yes, sir. HTLC. Like I said when I was growing up in the jungles in LA, it's a gang culture. And I would see Muslim people selling the little cakes, like I was saying earlier. I would always see them because I'm in the culture. It's a gang area with people banging on each other, but nobody messing with the Muslims. They're in their suits. They're making money. They're walking through the cars, selling and doing transactions, right? So that was my first experience. Now when I look at me being black and coming from Belize, I'm looking like, why are they not separated? And why are they different from the normal negativites? Negativites. I don't know if I said that correctly. I'm going to spell it though. Niggativitties. I would say that's going on in my culture. We're fighting behind dumpsters. We're banging on each other. You know what I'm saying? So what are they doing differently? That's my first experience with that, because coming from another country, this is my first time experience this. I wasn't born here. I'm questioning all this stuff. My whole experience is being questioned because, like you said, I'm trying to find my identity. I know that I'm black, but I know that I don't share the same culture with the rest of these black people. You know what I'm saying? YKTD. Right. HTOC. I know that we're the same, but we are different because I am not from here and we think differently. I always had to hold back when it came to talking about deeper things because they would judge me. I went through it a lot, especially when it came to me learning how to talk English like this, how to communicate like this. YKTD. Right. HTOC. So they're, excuse me. So they corrected all my words, everything. That's probably the reason I know how to speak English so well in the first place. And I have my identity when it comes to speaking English because they would correct the heck out of me. You know what I'm saying? So my point is that I still don't know what Muslim is or if it's a religion or not. How is it different? I mean, I saw after that live when people were going at me hard. When I did my research, I started going to Ben X because that's the only person I had seen, him and Reza Islam. That's the only people I see kind of like pressing, from my experience, from my journey. YKTD. Right. HTOC. That's the only people I came in contact with that's talking about that stuff. YKTD. You brought up good points. So let's start. And we just going to take it step by step. Brother Ben is on this live listening to me and you talk, by the way. He tapped in, man. And this is what he loves to see. He loves to see us going after our people with the right frame of mind and the right spirit. Because that's what our teachers, plural, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that we have to go after our people and we have to teach them the knowledge, wisdom, understanding of themselves, the reality of God, and the reality of the devil. So you said, what is a Muslim? Let's start right there. A Muslim simply means one who submits to do the will of God. That's all it means. One who submits to do the will of God. And by submitting your will to do the will of God, you enter into a state of peace and total submission. You enter into a state of peace. That's what Islam means. ISLAM. The 5%ers say it means I, self, Lord, am master. Because we believe and we know without a shadow of a doubt and an actual fact that the black man and woman are the original man and woman of the entire planet Earth and the gods and goddesses of the universe, that the whole family, the whole human family has its origin inside of us. By nature, we are righteous. We are gods, baby gods with a little g. You were born submitting to do the will of God. You don't see bees reading a bee book on how to be a bee. It's just a bee. The birds don't need a manual on how to be a bird. But we have been robbed, hit in the head, and left for dead, destroyed mentally, destroyed morally, destroyed physically, destroyed economically, right? We have been broken down to our very last compound, and we were turned upside down and inside out and made into what they call a Negro because they had killed us from the neck up. They knew that you could not serve them and serve God at the same time. That's why the Bible says, no man can serve two masters. He must love one and hate the other. They knew that if they trained us and broke us down, they would be called master. They literally made us call them massa, and they called us boys. They called us girls, or they called us gal. They made us feel like we were children, and they were like our wicked step parents. HTOC. YKTD. And so they raped us. They robbed us. They stripped us of our names. So even though I might be from Senegal, I might be from Mongolia, I don't know where I'm from because they say it's easier to trace a piece of furniture than it is to find out where we originally came from. So imagine us being stacked and packed in the holds of slave ships, one on top of the other, on a journey for 9,000 miles. Everybody's speaking a different dialect, a different language, and they put us all over here. Not for a day, not for a month, not for a year, but for 300 years. They trade us like they trade baseball cards. They trade us. They bought and sold us like you sell a 64 Chevy Impala. They sold us like they sold dope. We were the product and we're still the product, but we're a different kind of product. We understand now that this is why the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is so important. Hustle, because he has given us the true knowledge of ourselves, where we come from, our origin in this world. What happened to us? What took us from building the projects or the pyramids to living in the projects? He began to restore our pride, our love for ourselves, because the enemy taught us to hate ourselves. They taught us that a black cat was bad luck. They taught us that anything black, man, was never any good. When we were coming up in the hood, in my day, we would talk about each other. You could say anything about me, but just don't put the word black in front of it. To make somebody really mad, we say something like, "Oh, your mama's an African booty scratcher." To be associated with Africa was like the worst of the worst because they made us think that our brothers and sisters from Africa were all savages, hollering ooga booga and uaniga booga, uaniga bonga, climbing on trees like monkeys, when really the ones who were doing the ooga booga and uaniga booga ba, I don't know, were them. Yeah, see, we do the Harlem Shake and we do the whoa, but they were the ones climbing on trees. I'm talking about the Caucasians. They are the real savages. They are the original caveman. Man, look, they didn't know how to bury their dead. They didn't know how to cook their food. They didn't have knowledge of fire. They slept with each other, naked in the caves, and they were having sex with animals. White women were sleeping with dogs and jackals. They were the ones that were all the way savage and out of pocket. The absence of sunlight and trying to graft themselves back to the original man, they grew hair all over their bodies because we left them in caves stuck for 2,000 years. They were eating raw animals, and to this day, like their meat rare. They like their steak rare or medium rare, with blood still dripping out of it. They have a thirst for blood. Yeah, the Bible calls them the blood shedders, and this ain't hatred. It's actual facts. That's why they got commercials right now that says this insurance is so easy, even a caveman can do it. I challenge anybody on this line to find one black caveman. You won't, because there's no such thing as a black caveman. And I'm going to end this right there for this take number 4. I want you to stay tuned for take number 5 here on Poem Praise 2. That's going to be coming out of Con After Dark, the ultimate question and answer Q&A, part 1 and 2. Why is the Honorable Louis Farrakhan so important? I want for you to be well, to take care, to be safe, and to be blessed. And it be it thy will. I, Poem Praise 2, will talk with you soon. Till then, later, y'all.